Hey guys, Imagine from ECF. This is kind of my first impressions video of the HH.357. I got it this afternoon around 1 o'clock. It's now 6 and I've been using it pretty much for 5 hours straight. They come in this little container, little metal tin container or plastic, I think it's metal, a little metal thing. And it's got some fluff in there, you know, some foam, so when they ship it, it doesn't smack around. And it's cool looking, and it also serves as a safety function. You know, you're not getting just your run-of-the-mill cheap little atomizer. It's a $22 atomizer. The front says HH.357, and it says 1.5 ohm hybrid 510 avidvapor.com. Okay, and let's take a look at the atomizer itself. There's some really good photos out there, internal close-ups. My camera, however, doesn't like to get the close-ups, so I'll show you as much as I can. But let's see if you can see in there. It's just a little ceramic cup. There's mesh around it. There's no bridge. There is a wick inside of the coils, and the coils are about 12 or 13. I think there's 12 or 13 wraps, and it's a thicker Cisco spec coil 306 internal and a 510 hull outer shell. So you got the threading of a 306, 510, and throw this back on. Do a couple of pulls here. Really decent vapor. Like, I guess let's compare a 306 regular vapor. Turn it on. And you get good vapor and good flavor, but the flavor is really intense. Much more in the front on this Cisco. I'd say for sure it's definitely a advanced user atomizer device. It's got a bit of a curve of learning. You know, you've got to get it to the right level. You don't want too much vapor, too little vapor. You've got to find the happy medium, because you flood it, you're like vaping a 306. If you don't flood it and you keep it in a nice medium area, it's like a beautiful, beautiful escaping volcano of vapor. Really, really intense flavor, and I mean that in a positive way. I'm getting flavors out of this in my menthol juice that I'm not getting on other devices with this atomizer. It's just, it's good. It's giving me that, it's hitting the spot, and that's what I want. The thing I want to talk about, this is a $22 atomizer. There's a dead-on-arrival guarantee. There's no warranty. That's why it's very advanced. It's advanced to the point where you need to know what you're doing. You shouldn't just buy one and slap it on. There's an instruction manual on avidvapor.com. I'll put that in the link in the description. And this is Cisco's site. Cisco has done, what he's done is engineered and gave the people who make his atomizer his spec coil, which is the nichrome wire in there that heats up your atomizer juice. And he's kind of spec'd it out and made it the way he wanted it, and told them this is what I want and this is what he gets, and then he sells them to us. And every Cisco atomizer I've had decimates my other atomizers. So I've kind of stuck with him since February, January time, and I've been buying atomizers off him. I've yet to have one die, and saying that, I have had them drop in performance. I'm not a huge cleaner. I kind of just, they weaken, I toss. This one, however, because it is $22, and I could have bought 2 atomizers for that price from him, and a drip tip, I'm going to be taking a little more, you know, special precautions with this. I'll follow the instructions he has on there and kind of figure it out to where I want to do it. Like if I think it needs to be cleaned here, or, you know, my own certain ways. There is one thing he says on the instructions, is that when you blow out the excess fluid, you don't blow it in, you blow it out away through the threads. Instead of through the drip tip part and where you put your cartridge, you don't blow in, you blow away. So you would take this out, clean it, the threads up, and then blow through the threads and blow the juice out. I'm guessing that's because you could damage the coils by excessive blowing through directly onto them versus the air passing through. I don't know. I'm going to follow it just for the simple fact that I don't want to screw up the atomizer. Now, I was thinking about this earlier today. I've been vaping now since 2009. It's been a little over 2 years for me, and I'm kind of excited about that. I have had a cigarette maybe 3 to 5 times in the past 2+ years, and that was simply let me get one of them to one of my friends. Let me try one. I haven't had one in a long time. Let me see if I even remotely like it. And what I got was burning throat and pain, and it really did. It hurt my chest. I woke up hurting, and I'm like, wow, I don't want that. Price-wise, I was just at the gas station. I'm looking at the cigarettes. I always look to see. Actually, my gas station right down here sells Metro branded atomizers and ecigs, and they're $20 for a little kit. It's actually not a bad price to introduce a person into vaporizers. So I kind of was like talking to the guy, and at $20 you get, it's a 510 cartomizer kit, and they have KR8, 808, and they have different ones, but you get 3 or 4 cartomizers pre-filled, different flavors, and then you can buy the refills, and they have USB. But anyhow, it was just, I don't think $20 is a bad price at all. You get a little tin kit, you get to try it out. It's USB rechargeable, and I think that's awesome, and I think what they're doing is great. I love to see that. It blows the kiosk mall ones out of the water. Anyhow, so I was looking at the prices of cigarettes, right? And I think the Newports were $10.02. Marbs are like $9.89 or $9.88. Okay. Wow, $10 a pack of cigarettes. I would smoke about a pack to a pack and a half easy in a day. At least a pack a day, sometimes more. And sometimes on the weekends or when I'd be out with some friends having some beers or whatever, it would turn into 2 packs. Because every time you drink a beer, you smoke a cigarette, you go outside, smoke a cigarette, you get in the car, you smoke a cigarette. Everything you do, it turned into that psychologically, where I smoked a cigarette all day. I never wanted to put them down. And so anyhow, price-wise, $22 an atomizer. I've heard varying reports that these last a long time, and that the person who made them, Hannah, had one that didn't burn out for 8 months. I don't know if that's true. Gosh, I hope it's true. I really do. If it was an 8-month atomizer, oh my God, could you imagine spending $22 once a year or twice a year? Let's just say, for the sake of saying, that it's, it's every 4 months you got to buy a new atomizer, okay? And that's just kind of, I'm guessing here. It could be longer, it could be longer, right? So let's say 4, 8, 12, we got 3 of them in a year, and that would bring us up to $66, right? I buy my juice by the 30 mils. I get it from Vapor Bomb, who I've gotten from them for about, since pretty much the day they opened. They're my favorite juice place. I really don't steer anywhere else. I do try some here and there. But I'll buy 4 30 mils of juice. Say it's $50, right? Okay. So I gotta do that. I think I gotta do that about 30 mils. Lasts me generally somewhere between 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how much I vape. So let's just, for the sake of saying, say it's every 90 days I go through 4 30 mils. Let's just say that, okay? At 30 mils, say it's $50 every 90 days. So let's say 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 times. Okay, so let's do 4 times 5. Let's do 200. Okay, 200 plus you got your 66 on atomizers, right? Now that's 266. Let's just say you'd spend more than that on juice. Your juice is a little more expensive or whatever. Let's just say it comes to, say you have to buy 4 atomizers. Say you're at $300 a month, right? You realize how much of a savings you're at, really? I mean, when you would say it was, let's just go low. I'll go low here. A pack and a half of cigarettes is, let's say, $15. Even though I think it's, it's more because you're spending like $10 a pack anyhow, but with tax and all that, just say it's like $15. And you do that 7 days a week, right? You're at $105 for the week, and then at 4 weeks you're at $420, $430, whatever. Now you do that for 12 months for the year, you're at over $5,000. The money you can save on vaping just surprises me all the time. I wish that was more out there for people to realize, because a lot of people think it's so difficult to get into vaping. You gotta save money, you gotta buy $200 kits and $50 atomizer, craziness. It's not. It's not that hard. $5,000 $5,000 is what I'd be spending now if I smoked. And I would be getting myself closer to cancer or, you know, some sort of lung disease or whatever, you know, closer to death. I'd be smelling. I'd have tar and ash and burn holes in my clothes, and people around me wouldn't like it that didn't smoke. If I spent, let's say, 10% of that 5,000, right? Let's just say I spent 10%, so I spent 500 bucks, right? Could you imagine the savings I'm already at? I mean, that's crazy. 500 bucks for a year's worth of smoking. Now, that's if I don't buy devices and stuff, right? Say I buy devices here and there. So what? I spent 100 bucks here and there, or 50 bucks here, 150 here, buy some new batteries. Even if I spend $2,000 a year, I'm happy that I'm not spending $5,000 for my death. While nicotine is still not good for you, any kind of inhalant or anything you're doing is never good for you. At least I know I don't have cancer-causing carcinogens in my juice. There's nothing that's going to give me cancer. There's no tar. There's no ash. There's no combustion of lighting chemicals. There's no 4,000 plus chemicals where like 100 have been linked to cancer or whatever, you know. Wow, this video turned into an HH.357 video to a vaping, you know, whatever. We'll take it for what it is. I'm just kind of excited that I hope these atomizers actually last, you know, for 3 to 4 months. I'm going to clean them and go for it and see if I can get that to where I want to be. And of course, I'm going to buy new atomizers from different places and try them out, and different juices and different batteries and different mods. But that's the name of the game, you know. You search for what's good and what you like, and there's so many different things. It's just fun to try different things out. Don't ever be mad at yourself because you think you're spending too much money on vaping, because if you really add it up, you're probably spending less. And if you're not, who cares? You're not dying. You're spending something towards living, you know, and an alternative, a healthier alternative to what you were doing before. Let's do a couple more polls. Great vapor, intense flavor, and I mean that in the most positive way. You get a great, it's a way better flavor than my 306. And it's weird because I know it's internally modified, but they must have did a lot more than, you know, you think. Oh, they slapped a 510 shell on a 306 and called it a hybrid, you know. There's more going on the inside than, you know, there's a mesh in there. There's a different type of mesh wicking system in there to hold juice. There's a different airflow hole, something that, you know, there's things in there that are in there that have been done. You know, there's no dead on arrival with this, or there is a dead on arrival guarantee, but there's no warranty implied or anything like that. So if you do screw your atomizer up, you're kind of screwed, you know. So just take your time, follow the instructions on avidvapor.com, and enjoy the atomizer. This is my first impressions. Hopefully in a couple weeks it'll be better, and it'll keep going. Let's do, he recommends short drags, short vapes, and you get more vapor, versus a longer drawled out vape, which I guess is not as good on this atomizer. So right now I'm going to do a short one, a couple of short ones, a couple of long ones, and we'll kind of, and it is, once you get the atomizer, you'll realize it's kind of pick of the draw. You go through short and long until you find the draw that you like, but make sure you keep it wet, make sure you got the juice in there. You'll find the levels. It's kind of hard, but it's to each person it's different. So whatever device you're using as well. So let's do a couple of short ones. Like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Alright, let's do a long draw it out, like 5 to 7 or something. We'll see how long I can. I can't even do it. I can't even do it. What was that, 4 seconds, 5 seconds? Wow. It feels like my lungs are going to burst. That's how much vapor is in there. Alright. That's the HH.357, $22 atomizer from Avid Vapor. First impressions are super, super high. So I'm hoping it's going to keep going. And so far, I like it. I'm impressed. Peace out, guys.